We perform lot of work every day and we all like to make our work easier, right? When we say work, work means the amount of pushing or pulling we have to do and how far you have to do it. The scientific name for a push or pull is a force. We use simple machines which help us to do our work. They make our work easier and they do it by changing the direction of the force. Simple machines take the force and redirect it to make it work better. There are 6 simple machines that we are going to learn about. They are lever, pulleys, wheels and axles, inclined planes, screws and wedges. A simple machine just has one of these parts. Complex machines are made up of 2 or more simple machines put together. First we have wheels and axles. A wheel and axle work together to move forward. It makes our work easier. You must have seen wheels and axle in bikes, cars, trucks and trains. The axle is this post part and the wheel or the round part turns the axle. Wheels and axle work in 2 different ways. First, to move things by reducing friction. On a car or bicycle, only a part of the wheel touches the ground at a time. This reduces friction and allows the wheel to move smoothly, rolling down the street. This helps heavy objects travel faster and more easily than they would without the simple machine. Wheel and axle also help to move things by magnifying our effort. For a steering wheel in a car or the door knob of your bathroom, the axle is very small and would be difficult to turn. Adding a wheel around it increases the distance we have to work with, which makes it easier to do the work. The second simple machine is a screw. Screws are used to dig holes to hold things together and lift things. Screws are stronger and have more holding power than nails. Let's find out. It is much easier to twist or turn a screw into a piece of wood. If I try to push a piece of metal straight into a piece of wood with my hands, it would be very difficult. The grooves on a screw make it easier to twist into the wood. Parts of screw that stick out are called threads. The strength of a screw depends on how wide and far apart the threads are. The wider and closer together, the stronger the screw. But it is also harder to push it in. If the threads are farther apart and thinner, the screws has less strength. But it is also easier to push in. Now, in this picture, you can see the difference between the 3 screws here. Which one do you think is the strongest and the weakest? Next one we have a lever. It uses a stiff board. We push lever and it lifts or pull a load. A lever must work together with a fulcrum. Fulcrum is a place where the lever pivots or moves. The lever rests on the fulcrum, and while the fulcrum stays in one place, the lever moves back and forth. One such example of lever is a seesaw. You can lift someone who is heavier than you are if you sit close to the end and the other person sits close to the middle. Seesaws, crowbars, bottle openers, baseball bats, brooms are all examples of lever. Next we have inclined plane, which is also called a ramp. It is the best example of how we can increase the distance to decrease the effort when we work. An inclined plane or a ramp is a flat board that is tilted at an angle. It takes less effort to move something up on an inclined plane than it down to pull it straight up and down. Let us move an object to a higher level with less work. Pushing an object up an inclined plane is easier than lifting it straight up. But you have to push it a farther distance to get it up to the same height. A wheelchair ramp is an example of an inclined plane. Now next we have are the wedges. Wedges are 2 inclined planes put together to make a shape that is wide at one end and narrow at the another end. Wedges makes our work easier because it forces 2 things apart. The force is pushed at the wide end and the narrow end pushes things apart. This is different from a regular inclined plane, where we use it to move things at a higher level. Some example of wedges are knives and shovels. Imagine if you only had your hands to try to break a piece of wood in two. That would hurt. Using an axe make the work a lot easier. Another example of a simple machine is a pulley. A pulley is a wheel with a cord wrapped around it. Pulley uses a rope or cable to lift a load. Instead of just pulling on the rope straight up, we use the rope over something high up and pull down. We pull down and the load lifts up. The cord moves as the wheels turn and any weight attached to the cord moves too. People often use pulley on their clothesline to move the clothes back and forth. Pulleys on flag poles move the flag to the top of the pole. Now we know that there are 6 types of simple machines. They are
pulley, lever, wheel and axle, wedge, inclined plane and screw.
Many complex machines in the world such as bikes, motors, computers also make work easier. But these all have at least one simple machine inside them. Hope you enjoyed learning about the simple machines today. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.